Hello there, people of the internet. I am out here with my 38 Special / 357 Rossi R92 lever action, and I've got some 38 Special with me. I could bring out 357 as well, but I'm actually here specifically to test my 38 Special. So I'm a hand loader, and I hand load 38 Special pretty regularly. I've made videos on the channel talking about why that's such a good idea. It's just such an easy round to reload for, and you get a lot of leeway, especially if you're running 38 Special through a 357. So whenever I was loading these 38 Special rounds, I swapped from 158 grain projectiles to a 125 grain projectile, and with me swapping to that 125 grain projectile, I ended up getting to the point to where the bullets were too short to cycle through the feeding system of that lever action. Now, whenever I say that, the bullet of, well, essentially the next cartridge was not being stopped by the bullet on the cartridge that was on the elevator inside the lever action system, and so as a result, that next cartridge was trying to push its way onto the elevator while the cartridge that was currently being elevated by the elevator was still on the elevator trying to get up into the chamber. So with me doing that, the bullets were too short and I was only able to single load the thing. My lever action was simply not going to reliably run that system. So what I ended up doing with that particular setup was, I ended up single loading those, and I had a great time. They worked just fine whenever I stuck them into the chamber directly versus trying to cycle them through the feeding system. So what I did, since I normally use 158 grain projectiles in my 38s, I actually changed the seating depth of my 125s, and that's what I have right here. So this is 125 that is not seated at the spot that it should be seated at. However, I'm running these with tight group. Tight group is a type of gunpowder that does not care about chamber capacity or powder location inside said chamber. It will basically just immediately detonate. And I got 38 Special loads in a 357 Magnum, so I am 99.999% sure that I will be okay. My main thing is I want to see how well these actually cycle through the lever action, and I want to see if they still have any power behind them. A lot of the powers that come from your cartridges is revolving around dwell time, and that dwell time allows pressures to build. So although these are crimped onto the lead of the rounds, I'm not sure how much dwell time I'll get until that projectile starts really flying out of there, because it's a lighter weight projectile. On top of that, it is it's not seated as deep as it normally would need to be for this particular projectile. And the reason that's done is to try to increase feeding capabilities inside of said lever action. So this right here is our first round. I have this zeroed out for 158 grain projectiles. I'm just going to shoot at my target. I have out there at about 30 yards or so. I want to see the point of impact on that thing. All right, point of impact, that is right at point of aim. Now the question is, whenever I cycle this thing, bam, do we have another round jutting out? Nope, we do not. So at least in this particular case, this right here cycled just fine. So now we're going to do a power test, a non-scientific power test. I'm going to shoot the water. We're going to see how much power these 38 Special loads have out of this Rossi R92. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not exactly a 357 Magnum, but not bad. All right, let's actually cycle this thing. Yeet. And it looks like we got ourselves another round lined up with the chamber. No issues. Fantastic. So I think that the seating depth was in fact our problem. So now I'm going to shoot the mud. It's been raining the past couple of days, and we got some nice soft mud right there. I want to see how much that flies apart. Not all that impressive, won't lie. So, yep, we're still cycling through these things. All right, I'm going to hit. We got a drum out there at rough estimations, 80 yards, somewhere at that point. So I'm going to aim at the top of the drum, and I bet that we'll probably hit it somewhere in the middle. Aha, we hit that. I like whenever you're firing slow rounds, like pistol rounds at long distances, because you can hear it go bang, click, or bang, dink, or bang, conk, whatever it is that you're hitting at. Let's hit that drum again. Why not? Aha, we hit it again. Fantastic. So I don't know how many more rounds I have inside of this thing, But I'm going to cycle these rounds rather quickly. What are you? I love coming out here to the public range because there's just brass and live ammo everywhere. Every time I come out here, I go home with some live ammunition that I found laying around. So now I'm going to actually cycle this thing rather quickly, and we're going to see how well it cycles through this ammunition now that it's at a different seating depth. This would not work with the original seating depth that I was using. That worked just fine. Well, we are out of rounds, ladies and gentlemen. So, that there seemed to have cycled these just fine. It's interesting to know that the different bullet depths and the different seating locations of that bullet can take a bullet that would normally not function in your rifle at all and make it function very well. We were accurate. We hit our target out at 80 yards. I doubt that these are going to be like sub-MOA match grade bullets. Don't get me wrong, this is just hand-loaded tight group 38 special. But we seem to be approximately where it is that I'm supposed to be aiming. Actually, at this distance, the 30-yard mark, it looks like we did hit a little bit high. But out at that longer range, I'm sure that we're hitting low. We got adequate power for at least range plinking. All in all, I am pleased with these results, and they seem to be loading through the lever action just fine. So, there is my ammunition testing for the day. I'm just going to go ahead and end this video right now. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.